we see a certain pattern of success. And that starts with what was done exactly in the last couple of years in Serbia, which is really a strong focus on the financial restructuring of the state-owned companies. So really by changing the organizational structure to have a foundation to be more effective and be more efficient, by starting some staff reductions, of course, by also in one of the other cases reducing salaries. So that's a classical process. I would call it, from a restructuring point of view, we call it stop the bleeding. Right? It's really the first step of making a company more effective or making it more prepared for growth. Yeah? And I guess Serbia was quite successful in that. So that's on the good side, and I believe that's exactly the first step you need to take. The question is now, what is the next steps to go? And I remember the famous words from Dusan Vujovic yesterday. He said, Serbian, by reflecting the history, the economic history, have been very successful in the first step, and we often failed, sometimes in completing the second step. So I hope he's not right. On the other hand, he said a nice statement. He said, we need to look for new sources of growth. And I believe that's a key term. And for me, it starts really now on the second step, microeconomic level, to really focus on the performance improvement of the companies, which is not only the financial restructuring and not only the organizational, let's say, changes, but it's more related to processes. It's really to go into the heart of the company and try to build up a kind of end-to-end performance, end-to-end process landscape, which has a strong customer and market orientation, and which will lead to higher effectiveness and efficiency. So the performance improvement is really a strong, important thing. On the process landscape, it also is related to investing. We heard it yesterday also, investing in fixed assets, investing in production capacity. And it's also, and that's for me a key out of several other projects, it's investing in your people. So to run skill-up programs for your workers, to invest, to have a kind of management education program for the top and the middle management, and also to start to establish a kind of change attitude, right? And to make it even more complex, talking also about a third step. Since performance improvement is the basis for efficiency in the company and for really generating profit. At the same time, we just heard a nice presentation from Markus Lindqvist, futurologist, on the dramatically changing environment. I believe at the same time, not after the second step, but at the same time, Serbia need to invest in technology, need to invest in the digitalization strategies of these state-owned companies. If you look what happens in the Western world, look at the big utilities, look at the railways, look at the airports, they all invest heavily in their infrastructure. They know sometimes the core business is more and more suffering in the energy sector, and they need to invest at the same time in that kind of technology to be innovative enough and to meet with the future market expectations.